Lyra in a Team Rocket outfit. If that's not sus, I don't know what's sus. Let's discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly sides of cosplay Lyra and Phanpy in this video. So with that said, strap on your seatbelts, sit tight, let's begin. Here we go. Yo, 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 this is Saul, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, the artist Team Skull Grunt, and this is Pokemon Masters EX. And in this video, we discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly sides of cosplay Lyra, or Lyra's special outfit, costume, special costume, and Phanpy. So before we begin, guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, as it really helps with the YouTube algorithm, as well as tell me in the comment section if you're scouting for this sus Team Rocket member. And you know the drill. Subscribe if you haven't, and share this all to all your friends. If you want to push the support a bit further, you can become a member of my channel by clicking on the join button. But before we get there, guys, if you want to get to know the sync pairs a little bit better in a shorter video, you can check out my April 2023 pairs who to scout for video, where I discuss each one in depth, in brief rather, for this update. And if you just want one copy, you can check out my 1 out of 5 or none out of 5 video, where I discuss just what getting one copy means for you. So, in this video, we're going to discuss her in more detail. And, she is a support sync pair, and she is a costume, special outfit, or special costume unit. So, hang in there, and we discuss what good things to expect about her and what probably bad things to expect about her. But now, I would like to thank the members of my channel. Again, if you want to support out the channel monetarily, you can become a member by clicking on the join button down below if you see it wherever it is, and become one of my members, just like these precious people up here. And if you want to receive a gift membership, if you do not have the means to become a member but really want to become a member, you can become active in my channel. Make sure your gifting is on, because if your gifting is on, you will never receive a gift membership no matter what. Thank you to these awesome people for gifting memberships, especially earlier in my stream where I scouted for Cosplay Zinnia. We got 4 gift memberships. Welcome to the 4 new members over here. So, with that out of the way, let us begin. So, she is the 4th sync pair to come in this update. Starting off with 3 other cosplay units. So we have Cosplay Steven, Cosplay Shauna, Cosplay Zinnia came out earlier if you're watching this as a premiere. And you have Cosplay Lyra as the 4th one. She comes out 2 days after Cosplay Zinnia, and they all end on May 1. This is a support sync pair just like all the other sync pairs here, except for Zinnia and Steven, because Steven is a tech support hybrid who's mostly a support rather than a tech. But Lyra is more of, well, pretty much a similar case, but mostly a support sync pair. After her, we have, after 5 days, we have the Variety Scout of Lorelei, and 2 days after the Variety Scout of Lorelei, we have Variety Bruno. I'm expecting that Agatha and Lance will come afterward, so hang in there. And, after Bruno, we still have one more. April 25, we have the rerun of Signisut Lusamine, a very, very strong psychic type. So, right off the bat, first of all, if you are scouting, one of the worst things that can happen if you're scouting is that you're expecting this sync pair to do this stuff, to deal damage. Most of the new players scout for sync pairs, expecting them to be very, very strong. In the end, get disappointed because she is not an attacker unit. Don't expect her to deal massive damage because she is a support. She helps the team out in terms of defenses, in terms of powering them up. Don't expect her to be the damage dealer. So, you don't want to just rush in blindly scout for a sync pair without knowing what they do. Next, she is a special costume unit, and this means that she shares the low 7% chance rate of getting a random 5-star. If you don't have your 5-star list, if you don't have your spotlight list full yet, you can get all the sync pairs, 5-star sync pairs appearing in your spotlight scout, 7% chance. And a 2% chance of scouting for the correct sync pair, which is Rocket Lyra or Cosplay Lyra. And, you know, there's a paid route for her. So if you have gems to spare, if you have paid gems, 20,200 paid gems, you are guaranteed 1 copy if you go for her tiered scout. But this method is not for the free-to-play players, so that's a bad thing. If you spend money on the game, yes, that's a good thing. That guarantees you 1 copy. But if you are a free-to-play player, you only have the regular route, which, if you get shafted, that is 36,600 non-paid gems. But by doing so, by scouting 3 times on the regular banner, you can get, or rather, by scouting 3 multi-pulls on her regular banner, you can get 3 support move candy coins, and by collecting 20, you can exchange for a 5-star support move candy, give it to her, make her 1 move level up, stuff like that. So, she's a support. The others are mostly supports. In this update, this is a support update. So, in terms of her kit, guys, we will discuss that very quickly. Check this out if you haven't and see how many gems we can get, because we are probably not getting enough to go to scout points. Going to 36,600 scout points, we're not getting enough. By the way, check the pinned comment for this video for some important news. Alright, let's check out the stats first. I'm saying that she's not an attacker. She is not an attacker. Her attack stat compared to Steven and Zinnia is only at 244. Yes, she has the highest special attack stat in terms of the sync pairs that use special attacks, but it's only 268 and it's still low. It's not even 300. She has the lowest speed stat out of this list as well, but she has the highest HP stat out of the bunch and the highest defense, highest special defense. So, in terms of defense, she will hang in there. In terms of HP, she will be hanging in there because of her high HP, high defense, high special defense stats. And in terms of her multipliers, well, you only get a ground type rebuff. And what do rebuffs mean? Rebuffs, basically, the lower the rebuff is, you have negative rebuffs. That means the opponent's resistance to ground type moves get weaker. So the moment you hit the opponent with a ground type attack, it gets stronger rather than no rebuffs at all. And how much damage could you expect with Cosplay Lyra? Well, not a lot. Attack move damage, this is Earthquake. If Earthquake hits one opponent, you know, Earthquake is an AoE attack. But AoE attacks are subjected to the AoE penalty, meaning the full damage is split into 3 opponents. But if you're able to hit one opponent only, you can have a maximum of 911,308 damage with her Earthquake. In terms of her Sync Nuke, at least it's stronger than Cosplay Shauna. At least it's stronger than Bruno over here. At least it's stronger than Lorelai. You have 2,362,651. And we do not get a lot of ground type supports. So, this is a ground type support sync pair. Maybe she will be helpful for your team. Meanwhile, let's check out her stats or her in-depth kit. If you see this background image, congratulations. you have successfully scouted for Cosplay Lyra, and she has 2 different types of attacks. She has Mud Slap, a special attack, Earthquake, a physical attack. The moment you attack an enemy, the enemy will get a ground type rebuff. So this only happens once, so you want your first attack to be Earthquake. Because Mud Slap will only hit one opponent, meaning that opponent and only that opponent will get that ground type rebuff. Meanwhile, if you use Earthquake, it hits everyone. So you want everyone to get the ground type rebuff so that your ground moves will be stronger than on. And then you have Mini Potion All, which basically recovers everyone's HP by 20%, and Initiate Infiltration raises everyone's attack stat by 1. Gives everyone defense plus 3. And then it gives herself type resistance effect. So if the opponent likes to hit you with steel type attacks, the last attack it hits you with, you use Initiate Infiltration, you will be slightly resistant to steel type attacks. And if the opponent hits you with another type of attack, you use Initiate Infiltration again, you will be resistant to that type of attack. It will overwrite the last type of attack that the opponent hits you with, that you're resistant with. So you're weak to water. If the opponent hits you with a water type attack, you use Initiate Infiltration. You'll be slightly less vulnerable to water type damage. And then as a special costume unit, you have a very generic Darling Deception Ground Impact generic sync move, which is just sad. In terms of passive skills, again, you have Rebuff reducing hit ground. The moment you attack an enemy using Earthquake, everyone gets a ground type rebuff. If you hit an opponent with Mud Slap, only that opponent will get that ground type rebuff. You have Team Mighty Sync. After you use your sync move for the very first time, everyone in your team will get 1 physical moves up next effect stack, which powers up your ground type, or your physical moves rather, by 40%. This only happens once, so the moment you sync for the second time, nothing will happen. You have Team Beef Up 9. Every single time you are attacked by an opponent with a normal attack, everyone's attack stat will be raised plus 1. So, Initiate Infiltration, you can use this twice. You can maximize everyone's defenses, but you can only raise everyone's attack plus 2. You want to be hit 4 times in order to maximize the attack of all your allied sync pairs because of Team Beef Up 9. And that's how Lyra works, guys. So, what can I say from here on? Attack, she's a support, defensive support. In terms of raising everyone's defenses, good. She is not a special defensive support. You cannot raise everyone's special defense this way. But let's see her sync grid later if that helps. And in terms of attack, well, just be hit by the opponent, be hit by the opponent, be hit by the opponent. You can get your attack stat raised. But this is a very slow way of raising your attack stat. Plus, you get to receive damage. But I guess with the Initiate Infiltration type resistance effect. So, what you want to do, guys, is probably use Earthquake first for her instead of using Initiate Infiltration. You want to be attacked by the opponent first and then get your type resistance effect. Or, you know, it's completely up to you. You can use Initiate Infiltration, then Earthquake. Then after the opponent hits you, you use another Initiate Infiltration. Completely up to you. So, that's that. And now let's look at her grid. And before that, one more thing. Speed stat, 244. Earthquake, 3 move gauge attack. You might run into some move gauge issues using her. So, just a little warning there. Now, sync grid. 1 copy gets you Sans Shelter and Unbending. Shake my head. Unbending probably okay. Your defense cannot be lowered. 2 out of 5, Earthquake, Trip Up 9. Every single time you use Earthquake, you lower the opponent's speed stat. Every single opponent's speed stat. So I guess that's good because your speed stat yourself is pretty slow. And if the opponent is slow together with you, that's a little bit fun. Revenge 2, if the opponent hits you, you have a 30% chance of getting a free move next. Could be higher. Initiate Infiltration MP Refresh 2. What this basically does is give you a type resistance effect, give you the attack +1. So if you want to raise your attack a little bit faster, probably getting this will do. Mini Potion All MP Refresh is always good. Natural Remedy, Sands of Time, Shifting Stand has everything to do with Sandstorm. Sterner stuff too. If you get hit by a physical attack for the opponent, get to deal receive around 20% less damage, which is not too bad because she is a defensive, physical defensive support. 3 out of 5, you get First Aid 4. Restores your HP by 40% when your HP is pretty low, which is okay. Gets your high HP stat, your high defenses, pretty good. Makes you more survivable. Focus Group 9 is the important thing about her, especially if you're like me who love critical hits. The only way you can raise everyone's critical hit, including herself, is by getting this. And the moment you use an attack, either Mud Slap or Earthquake, you get to raise everyone's critical hit rate +1. You have to use 3 different types of attacks or 3 different attacks to max out everyone's critical hit rate if you decide to make her your critical hit buffer. Initiate Infiltration Berserk Bunch 1. Instead of raising your attack stat +1, it raises your attack stat +2 every time you use Initiate Infiltration. You got a Mini Potion All MP Refresh 2 again, and a Master Healer 1. So you recover 30% HP or 40%, I think 30%, instead of 20% HP when you use Mini Potion All. You get Sing Damage Guard. When you use your Sing move for the very first time, you will get a Damage Guard next effect, which cuts off the damage for the opponent's Sing move, or you receive no damage at all for your opponent's normal attacks. And then you got Team-wise Entry 2. Now this is the only way you can raise everyone's special defense using her. So if you want to fight against opponents who use both physical attacks and special attacks, probably a good idea to get Team-wise Entry 2 so that everyone will start off the battle with +2 special defense. You got Vigilance. Protects you from critical hits so that the opponent will not hit you with strong attacks and bypass your shields. And you got 2 Sync Nuke tiles. Okay. Interesting things in her kit. I like First Aid 4. I like Focus Group 9. I like Potion Master Healers. I like Vigilance. I wonder how it is like to do her grid. So let's check it out, guys. So this one is 3 out of 5 hits. Or 5 out of 5 kit, 4 out of 5 kit. And as you can see over here, we got Focus Group 9. I think that's the important thing over to the top over here. So this is Focus Group 9. We got First Aid 4, restores HP. This is a Potion Pitcher. We got a Master Healer 1 for Potion, a Mini Potion All MP Refresh, and another Mini Potion All MP Refresh to keep our team alive. So this is a Potion Pitcher build, and just staying alive and just raising everyone's critical hit rate. Basic, and then you can also give everyone a ground type rebuff just by using your Earthquake for the very first time. Another build I have for her is a more defensive build involving another Focus Group 9 because I think this is the most important thing about her. Another defensive First Aid 4. We got Sterner stuff too so that when we get hit by the opponent's physical attacks, we get to receive less damage. We got 2 Potion MP Refreshes because for me, MP Refreshes are more important than Master Healers because, you know, if we get MP Refresh, we get to use this unlimited number of times rather than Master Healer recover more HP and rather recover more times than recover more HP. As you can see over here, we were not able to get Vigilance. We were not able to get Team-wise Entry 2. Let's see if it's actually possible to get Vigilance. So let me see if we get a Trip Up 9 to slow down the opponent. We got Vigilance. I want to get First Aid and Focus Group 9. And we get a Team-wise Entry. Not enough already, guys. So we have to remove probably... Haya. We cannot... Enough! Not enough! Not enough here. Can we remove Trip Up 9? Just get this. Earthquake Move Gauge Refresh. We have to remove Vigilance. We get First Aid 4. We remove Shifting Sand. And we got Trip Up 9. Not enough energy. Can we get Potion MP Refresh? We cannot get Potion MP Refresh. So, it's a little bit hard to do this. If you want to get Focus Group 9, most of the time you have to get First Aid 4 because it's side by side. I'd rather get First Aid 4 than get Shifting Sand, honestly. And Team-wise Entry 2 is just too far into the grid. It's so far in that I'd rather get Potion MP Refreshes instead than Team-wise Entry 2. So that's a very sad thing about her. In fact, Vigilance is built into her kit, but I'll give her Vigilance as a lucky skill instead because Vigilance is expensive. And I'd rather get First Aid 4, Focus Group 9, Mini Potion All MP Refreshes rather than get Team-wise Entry, get Vigilance. Rather get those in as a lucky skill for Vigilance instead. So it's very expensive to get the Special Defense tile, which is Team-wise Entry 2. And again, I wish that DNA would listen to me or listen to some of us and actually give more energy for the sync grid when we get more copies of the sync pair. Because not being able to get these important tiles is just sad. Especially the sync pairs that have 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5 tiles. It's just sad to not being able to get those things in their kit. So, you know, that's Lyra. That's Cosplay Lyra. That's a very, very easy, short discussion. Not really not really much about her kit. She buffs everyone's defenses to +6 using 2 moves of her trainer move, two uses of her trainer move, which is Initiate Infiltration. Slow attack buffer. You have to get hit, but high HP, high defenses. Get the type resistant effect. Get Mini Potion All. The only way you can raise everyone's critical hit rate is by getting 3 copies and getting Focus Group 9. So, those are the bad things and the good things about her. Bad things, you have to get 3 copies to buff up critical hit rate. So if you like to use shields in Champion Stadium, physical move reduction, physical damage reduction, special damage reduction, and you are not able to hit with critical hits, the damage is cut by half. Low attack buffer, so rather use your main attackers to buff up their attack stats instead. But everything aside, pretty okay. But we already have enough defensive supports. Do we need another one? The new thing about her is that ground type rebuff and its AoE. And Earthquake Trip Up 9 is also probably a good thing, but you know, you can just use Bulldoze with other sync pairs. Bulldoze also lowers the opponent's speed stat, but it's a ground type support, and it's Lyra in a Team Rocket outfit. If you're a fan of Team Rocket Lyra, I think this appeared in the games whatsoever. If you're a fan of Team Rocket Lyra, who am I to stop you? So, those are, it's very short, not exactly too much to say about Cosplay Lyra. If you enjoyed this video, hit a thumbs up. But, as always, I would like to end with my favorite quote over here, which is, scout for your faves instead of the meta. There's no meta in this update except if you consider rebuffs as a meta, if you consider the new trainer passive skills, rebuff reducing hit something. If you consider that meta, well, it's you, but I do not consider rebuffs meta at all. Because you can survive battles without meta. Master passives are meta, but rebuffs, not really. So, I would like to end the video there. Again, hit the thumbs up, comment down below if you're scouting for Cosplay Lyra, subscribe if you haven't, And what else? Stay tuned for my Lorelai and Bruno videos. Lorelai is much more interesting than Cosplay Lyra in my opinion. Bruno is the worst out of the bunch in my opinion, but I have yet to look at his in-depth kit to see if my suspicions are really that correct for Bruno. But with that said, again, huge shout out to all the gifters of my channel, Aurora Espion, Yuki, Aurora Espion, Ewiz, Yuki, Luca, Roy, Shadow Philip, Saras, Jeremy. Thank you. Oh, I have to put Jeremy over to the top. Sorry, Jeremy. I'm putting you over to the top. Somewhere there. Next time. Thank you for the super chats last time. And with that said, thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you to all the members of my channel. Shadow Phil Marokman, Aurora Espion, Yuki, Shidovods, Alcin, Roy, Luca, Jeremy, Sasri Ambreon, Marcella, Ewiz, Tatsuya Gold, Let Me Hide Myself, Apsaras, Kundan, Pokefriendo, Edward, thank you very much. And with that said, this is Sol, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, the artist Team Skull Grunt. I will see you in the next video. Rawr.